I am very unhappy to say about my country's situation here in the parliament, which will go across the world. But the government's handling of situations is not in the right manner. Tamil Nadu is the largest contributor of direct taxes to this country. Whereas, for 1 rupee we pay to the union government, the Tamil Nadu government is getting 29 paise. Whereas the UP, if they pay 1 rupee, they get 2.73. 2 rupees and 73 paise. What is this disparity? Why this discrimination? You say the country is one. You say everything, all are equal. But why this sort of treatment? The lowest per capita income among the G20 countries is India. But you are claiming this government says maximum governance, minimum government. But minimum achievement, more trumpeting.
Holidays nale, adu namma GT Holidays da. GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand. You know you are special when you're with GT Holidays.
தலைமுறைகளை தாண்டி தரத்துடன் மீண்டும் தனித்துவம் நிறைந்த கடை. இன்றைய தங்க சேமிப்பு, நாளைய வாழ்வின் தித்திப்பு. ஜி ராஜம் செட்டி அண்ட் சன்ஸ் ஜுவல்லர்ஸ், மேற்கராஜ்வீதி, காஞ்சிபுரம்.
But why agriculture budget is coming down? Agriculture is the spinal cord of India. But the Raj Bhavan stand as a stumbling block. And many of the bills that have been passed in the assembly have not been accorded sanction or assent from the governors. The central agencies enter in and arm twist the government as well as functioning of the government. This is not the way a union government has to treat a state government under a federal system. It is like extending a carrot before a horse and making it to run. What for is a parliament? It's a debating forum. We have to debate, we have to deliberate, we have to decide. Mahatma Gandhi envisaged a village India. Pandit Nehru built a modern India. Lal Bahadur Shastri aspired for a Kisan India. BP Singh created a social justice India. Manmohan Singh, a globalized India. Honorable Narendra Modi ji is taking defederalized India. This government is, ma'am, anti-federal, anti-secular, anti-poor, pro-rich. It is anti-women. It is anti-MSc, ME, anti-CPSUs, pro-corporates, anti-farmers and anti-labor, pro-center and anti-regional. See, why I am telling all these things, not it's an evasive accusation against the government or alleging them without any base. In the recent days, after this government has taken over power, there's a blatant attempt to undermine the regional parties and the local issues. There's a stepmotherly attitude we witness and we experience. Take, for example, the devolution of revenue shares. The Finance Commission, 14th Finance Commission recommended to 42%, whereas what we are getting is not that much. It was 34%, then 31.3%, and only now 25%. It was in 21-22, 1.70 lakh crore. Next year it came down to 1.40 lakh crore, and now it is 1.24 crore. Tamil Nadu is the largest contributor of direct taxes to this country. Whereas, for 1 rupee we pay to the union government, the Tamil Nadu government is getting 29 paise. Whereas the UP, if they pay 1 rupee, they get 2.73. 2 rupees and 73 paise. What is this disparity? Why this discrimination? You say the country is one. You say everything, all are equal. But why this sort of treatment? By way of this GST regime, the Tamil Nadu government has lost, estimated to around 20,000 crore rupees. It was a hasty implementation of GST. We have experienced a lot. And other thing, legislations are not able to be carried over in the assemblies. The elected government, which is in the assembly, do know the needs of the people and they legislate laws. But the Raj Bhavan stand as a stumbling block, and many of the bills that have been passed in the assembly have not been accorded sanction or assent from the governors. And because of that, many state governments are limping, especially the opposition ruling parties. The opposition ruling parties, wherever which states or wherever they are ruling, they are being treated in a manner the central agencies enter in and arm twist the government as well as functioning of the governments. And moreover, very importantly, recently there was a very bad flood in Tamil Nadu, the torrential rains. Before that, there was a cyclone. Chennai and southern districts were affected too much. We demanded immediate for relief 5,000 crore. We were given only 450 crore, not even 10%. And later, overall estimate, say the defense minister came to the spot and he had an overall view of what happened there. And the Prime Minister was met by the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu and he gave an estimate of 37,000 crore rupees demanding for immediate relief. Nothing happened. Then a delegation of all party members of parliament came and met the Home Minister, which delegation the Home Minister assured that it will be done. Nothing has been done. So even at the time of distress, they just witness how the states which are being ruled by opposition parties are suffering. This is not the way a union government has to treat a state government under a federal system. That is why I say it is anti-federal. It's not just an accusation against them, but it is the fact because of that. Take for example my neighboring state, the Andhra Pradesh. I have been hearing them for the past 10 years, cutting across all the political parties. After the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act in 2014, they are demanding for special status to Andhra Pradesh. Polavaram project, it is very much acquainted to us. Nothing has been taken care of because it is not ruled by BJP. For 10 years I have crossed by. They have asked for a special status and are still demanding it. It has not been acceded to. So this is the way states are being treated by the union government. We say it is not fair. Why I say it is unsecular? I would like to remind about the Citizenship Amendment Act. That act was brought, of course, apparently it seemed that India is very genuine and very generous of accommodating those who have been persecuted in the neighboring countries by way of religion will be given citizenship. But that bill that later on which became act very clearly said 3 countries were selected: Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. And from there only 5 religions, selective. Hindus, Christians, Parsis, Sikhs and Buddhists will be accorded citizenship who have registered before 2014. Our question is, while you are so generous of giving citizenship to people who have been persecuted, why Muslims have been deleted in the list? When you have taken 3 countries, why have you not taken about another country which is a neighboring country, Sri Lanka? Sri Lanka, Tamils, 1.5 lakh Tamils are in India without citizenship. The torture they are undergoing because of lack of citizenship cannot be described, and we have represented many a time it has not been taken care of. So when I gave an amendment that religious as well as ethnic persecution, so also include Sri Lanka, include Muslim community, that amendment was defeated by this government. So also the triple talaq. When triple talaq was brought, they said it is in favor of Muslim women. Everyone said, oh, it could be, but actually it is to victimize Muslim men. It is a protective measure a government should take, not a punitive approach. And why I am telling that, I brought a private member resolution for legislation for the welfare of the widows. Ma'am, 4.5 crore widows are in India. And in Brindavan alone, 1.5 lakh widows are there. And those are 20 to 60 years age, nobody takes care of them. They are there begging, they are there pulling rickshaws, they are being exploited by some other people, and some NGOs are taking care. I brought a resolution. We need a legislation because government of Tamil Nadu has given so much of schemes for widows. For your kind information, I would like to remind the House also that resolution was defeated. When you say that you are fighting for women's cause, you say triple talaq is brought for the Muslim women, but it is not so. The undercurrent is to punish the Muslim men, whereas had you been the same intent, you would have supported the women's widows' welfare resolution also. So they take a double standard. So also women's reservation bill. They say we have fulfilled the long wish of political empowerment to women. When? After census, after delimitation, after reservation, it is far-fetched. It is like extending a carrot before a horse and making it to run. They give an impression to the women that the government has passed a women's reservation bill, but it is not so. May I suggest to the government, if at all you want to empower women, don't go for that. Again, I would like to cite my state as an example. We are giving 40% reservation to women in employment. Why don't you give that? My private member bill for that also is pending, which has not been taken into consideration. So it is anti-women, it is anti-secular, it is partisan towards some religious people. See, everyone should feel secured in this country. I have repeatedly said, when India partition took place, Muhammad Ali Jinnah said, all the Muslims come to my country, Pakistan, which will be for Muslims. The Islamists in this country said, yes, we are Muslims, but India is our country, and they stayed here and they sacrificed for the country. So many of them are in the military. So many have done take for example, Dr. Abdul Kalam. How many have done that? But why you should treat them in this manner is our simple question. Everyone should feel secure, but it is not so. We have to think about all these things. So when I say you are anti-secular, it is all with base and reasons. When I say anti-women, it is also based on what has happened to women community by way of this government's approach. Again, I said it is anti-poor. My colleague, Mr. Sukhendu, quoted many things. The per capita income in India for a person compared to China is 1/4 of it. Whereas in population, China and India are one and the same. I would like to say another thing, very shocking. I am very unhappy to say about my country's situation here in the parliament, which will go across the world. But the government's handling of situations is not in the right manner. I have to tell that. It's our responsibility as a citizen, as a member of parliament, and as, of course, in the interest of the country. India ranks 139th place in the per capita income in the world. Hunger index. And in the G20 countries, you are so proud that you have been successful in conducting G20. The lowest per capita income among the G20 countries is India. But you are climbing high that you have conducted the G20 summit very successfully. 22 crore people are suffering from poverty. That also was mentioned. Even the President address said, Garibi Hato was once a slogan, but now we have uplifted 25 crore of people from poverty. Where comes? 22 crore people are still below poverty line. And what is the index? What is the parameter of below poverty line? For a rural person, for a rural family, it is 27 rupees per day, 816 rupees per month. For one who is in the urban, it is 33 rupees. 1,000 rupees per month. One can imagine how can a family survive with 1,000 rupees and 800. But the President address says, on behalf of the government, it says that, we have uplifted poverty and people from poverty. And India ranks 5th in the global in economic power. Soon we will be in the 3rd place. All because of the corporates. You are anti-poor and you are pro-corporate. That is what we are telling. 10% of our population get 57% of the nation's income. 10% of the population enjoy 65% of nation's wealth. Whereas only 3% of the nation's wealth is possessed by 50% of the population. Let them please explain to us that you have uplifted poverty, people from poverty line. This is the condition of the poor. The Manrega, earlier the number of people who were benefited was 4.14 crore. And now it has increased to 6.16 crore. After the COVID impact, how many things were affected? Have they been restored? Has it been brought to the position? No. The government was concentrating on other things. The oligopolistic conglomerates, some have a control over all the substantial parts of economy and even policy matters. I don't want to tell who it is. Everyone knows where Parliament whole session was taken away by that. Some people who own everything controls the entire economy of the country. It is all private business people. So also the MSME, very important sector. A question was raised in the morning. It provides 20 crore employment to 20 crore people. Next to agriculture sector, MSME is the only sector which provides more employment. It contribution to GDP is 29%. And in the exports, its parts is 45%. I am the chairman of the Committee on Industry. I know very well how we are patronizing. Ma'am, you know very well, being a part of it. So that MSME is not patronized to the extent. How many units fell sick and went out of it? How many people came to the streets? One MSME unit gives employment to 5 persons. But it is not taken care of. Let me tell, 2,300, just 2,300 individual enterprises, companies, their loan default is 2 lakh crore. 2,300 business people's loan amounts to 2 lakh crore people. And Indian banks have written off 5.3 lakh crore to corporates only. Whereas the NPA of the MSME, comparatively, I said 2,300 equal to 2 lakh crore. The numbers are very big. 18.65 lakh units of MSME. Total MSME units in our country are around 6 crore. Whereas the NPA are only 18.6, maybe 19 lakh units. But the total amount is just 16,341. This 18 lakh or 19 lakh units employ 1 crore people, and their loans to the bank's NPA that has not been repaid is only 16,000 crore, and whereas only 2,300 business people have got 2 lakh crore not repaid, and so also their loans have been waived off for 5.3 lakh crore. It's all alarming. What is happening? This government says maximum governance, minimum government. But minimum achievement, more trumpeting. They have spent 4,880 crore towards advertisement. That is public exchequer money. What about agriculture? One can recall all my colleagues in the House, how the farm bills were passed in the House. You can be proud to say that we have passed so many legislations. As many other members have pointed out, after having sent out to the opposition parties who will raise voice against or point out the errors of the government, they were all suspended, sent out, and you have passed legislations. So also scrutiny of the bills are also not like that. In 2014, what they point often, the UPA government, 71 bills were referred to Parliament Committee scrutiny. But now it is only 17%. Why? 71% and now 17% means they are not depending upon the scrutiny. In the House, it will be 2 hours, it will be 1 hour, it will be 3 hours, members' time will be 3 minutes, 2 minutes, whereas in the committee, it will be an elaborate debate. The stakeholders can appear. The government is bound to come and reply and make alterations, and the recommendations will be considered seriously, whereas all the parliament committees have become insignificant. And this is the way they are. Budget for agriculture coming down year by year. Before, budget for other things have been increasing. Home Department, defense, okay, that's all okay. But why agriculture budget is coming down? Agriculture is the spinal cord of India. I say, one can call the 2008 economic recession, when the whole world was suffering under it. It emerged from the Europe and affected the whole of the world, but not India, only because of the public sector units and the agricultural sector. But you are killing both. The farm bills were brought with what intent? To encourage some corporates. And it was passed when the house was not in order. And when the whole country, the farmers came to the road and agitated, it was taken aback. And so also the budget is coming down. And the exports of farm produce, banned wheat in May 2022, broken rice in September 22, and onion in December 23. Farmers are not encouraged. Their produce are not allowed to export. They are not patronized. Fertilizers price is going on, increasing, and input costs are increasing, whereas the price of the agriculture produce are not being proportionate to the expenses. The government promised that we will double the income of. Nothing happened. Again, we would like to say, like how you said, 2 crore employment will be generated. So far, only 7 lakh employment has been generated. But the need is 7 crore. And you said 15,000 rupees will be deposited in everybody's account after 15 lakh, sorry. I am coming. 15 lakh rupees will be deposited in every person's account after unearthing the black money. And someone said, no, we didn't say like this. If at all we unearth the black money, that would be equivalent to 15 lakh rupees in every account. Have you unearthed? Have you deposited? No. So all are election jumla, as they themselves have said. So the farm bill was brought in that manner. The Article 370's abrogation happened in that disorderly manner. Business are being not conducted in the manner it should be. So many silence. When Manipur, everybody knows, northeast states, which you say that you are taking too much of care. Manipur, what happened? The whole world was watching. The clash that happened between two groups, it totally stagnated everything in the country. How women was treated, everybody knew. What we demanded, just an explanation from the government. What for is a parliament? It's a debating forum. We have to debate, we have to deliberate, we have to decide. The government is accountable to the parliament. The parliament is accountable to the people. When the members of parliament come to the house and demand an explanation from the government, there was only silence. When there was a no confidence motion in the Lok Sabha, even then explanation was not given. So Manipur, nothing has been resolved so far, no explanation from the side of the government. 2 persons intruded into the parliament despite the security we have here. We were not allowed to discuss about it. No explanation from the government. We asked something, nothing out of the way. What is happening in the country, we want to know, and the government is accountable to the parliament. You come here and explain to the parliament, which will be told to the people. But it is not so. So I considering my time, and I have to give way to my colleague, my sister, to some areas also for her to deal with. Because this government has spoiled this country in many areas, but something has to be left to her. And very importantly, I have to tell, as I said, finance minister has come, kindly take care of the states about the devolution of funds which are reducing every year by year, which we are very much concerned about. And so also take care of the Tamil Nadu government's demand that flood relief and cyclone fund we have been asking for, but we have not been accorded so far. And right thing, at least he has come. Take care of the states which are being ruled by opposition parties also. And ma'am, to conclude, I say, Mahatma Gandhi envisaged a village India. Pandit Nehru built a modern India. Lal Bahadur Shastri aspired for a Kisan India. VP Singh created a social justice India. Manmohan Singh, a globalized India. Honorable Narendra Modi ji is taking defederalized India. We are very sorry to all these things. 10 years have been given to you. In these 10 years, what is the net result? The progress report shows more poverty, more poor people, more unemployment. Small-scale industries are being crushed. Many corporates are having their hands upon them. MSME has to be taken care of. All these things, when we say, we can just remind them one thing, remind of the IPC World Cup series which happened. 10 matches, Indian cricket team won like anything, and a much hype was made for the final match. Even the Prime Minister went and everyone was there. Whole nation was proud and nobody looked after any other thing. The team which won 10 matches lost miserably in the final. So also you might have secured 2 Lok Sabha elections, you have won, you might have won the by-elections, but 2024 elections will be the IPC World Cup series to Indian cricket team will be to the present one. I'm not IPL, sorry. Thanks. Thank you very much. IPL. And again I say, not because of just we are not here and they are there, not able to tolerate someone who is in power. We have witnessed, we have experienced, we have suffered. Uphold federalism. We have to be secularist country, and states have to be protected, and youth have to be taken care of, labor have to be taken care of. Anti-labor policy should not be, we should be India in its own form. Since you have not done it, the 2024 elections, the India Alliance will win and bring back India to its original place. Thank you very much.
Holidays nale, adu namma GT Holidays da. GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand. You know you are special when you're with GT Holidays.
Minnambalam.com, தமிழின் முதல் மொபைல் பத்திரிகை.